What is up, my special beam brothers and sisters? We're back at it again with another figure review. This time we're going to be reviewing Zenitsu from the Figma line, also known from the Demon Slayer line. I got the DX version of it. Did not want to get the regular version of it, only because it had just a lot of extra parts and it's just a lot of extra, bunch of little goodies inside. So let's stop talking about it and let's get into the review. Alright guys, and here we have Zenitsu, the lightning, I wouldn't say Hashira, but his power that he has around his sword is lightning, and I'm finally glad that we got him out of the box and onto the rotating stand. So first things first, let's take a look at the aesthetics, but before we get into that, I just want to say that right off the bat, he is just a really good figure. As far as like when I got him out of the box, he looks really good. But let's go ahead and get into the aesthetics. So right on his robe, you can see the triangle pattern that he usually has in anime. It's noticeable right here, and it is present as he is spinning on the stand. And you can see how his hair kind of fades in, and I don't really know why. I mean, I try to keep up with the manga as well as the anime. Well, as far as the anime is it's done right now with its season 2, or it's like arc district, and we're gonna be dipping in to the new arc, which is called I forget what the arc is called, but I know it has the two girls present. And it looks like that our boys Inosuke and Zenitsu will not be present into the next arc, or will most likely play a small role while they I guess Tanjiro and everybody else are doing their demon slay corpse things, you know? So back to it. Okay, he looks really good, especially in hand as well as the photos. This does match the promo photos, in my opinion. I know a lot of you beg to differ, but his hair really, his hair really kind of, you know, gets into the orange right there, as you can see on top of his head. His eyes look really, really nice. I know Demon Slayer is known for their eyes that they have, especially how the artistic way that they're kind of doing it, especially nowadays. I mean, a lot of things are less drawn and more computerized, especially with the special effects, but we're getting the anime at a faster rate as opposed to like what 10-12 years ago. So that's always good. Don't mean to ramble on, but right on his sword right there, it looks nice and white. It's a little bit of a different design. It's on a little ball peg instead of stationary. Not like how we got with Tanjiro. You cannot take his sword out. Of course, you can move the sword up and down just for him to get like better poses and, you know, better aesthetics. But with Zenitsu, you can actually take it off, and I will showcase that a little bit later in the review. Moving on down to his legs right there, you can see the buckles right there on the front. They look really nice. And I just love how everything fades into like a darker orange. Even his hair. I mean, his hair is like yellow to dark to like a darker orange, and then his whole robe, like on top of the Demon Corpse Slayer's suit, it's from like a light yellow to it fades away into an orange. So that's really, really nice. But enough rambling on this Demon Slayer Zenitsu. Let's get the homeboy off of the rotating stand and into the articulation. Okay, so first things first, everybody knows, if you've seen the reviews, we start from head to toe like we always do. So Zenitsu can look up about this much, maybe a little bit, let's see, down that much. He does not have the head range. I mean, it's Figma. He can go side to side a little bit, but he's not gonna have like dynamic poses like like the Rovoltech has. So moving on down to the shoulders, lifts up about this much, which is really good, I'd say, in my opinion. so that looks nice. Uh, he can bring his arms out that much. Bends at the elbow, a little bit better than 90, but you have to kind of watch out for the actual robe right there that kind of hinders him. And he actually can spin like his hand right here on the robe. There's a little cut right there. So I guess that would be the forearm cut. So that's really nice. And then you have 360 all the way around with his hand right there. And of course it can go up and down. You just have to kind of manipulate it. I have no issues on mine whatsoever. I know a lot of you guys have been having a little bit of issues, especially with this part right here, the forearm part, but it is not present on mine. It's nice and tight. Sorry for the rest of you guys that have gotten loose figures. Let's see. Starting from right here, the torso, this is where Figma actually does a little bit of redesign, because I thought this was going to be the same mold, if not the same figure body of Tanjiro, but it's actually not. So you can see right here, this top part, it has like a kind of a little slit right there, and that's going to allow you to get like better range in motion for when he pulls off that, hold on, for when he pulls off his move right there. Just picture his eyes closed and his knees bent, and then boom, you got it. Straight from the anime. And then the bottom part, it allows you for like better range as well. He can twist side to side, does what he needs to do. Although mine is kind of a little bit loose, as you can see, it kind of pops off, but it doesn't pop off intentionally. It's just like if you use too much force, it will pop off, but that's an easy fix. I know what to do. Put a little either paint or sticky tack or glue. It's all the same. All right, moving on down to the legs. So he can lift his leg up about this much before he starts to feel some resistance right there on his leg. Let's see how far out they can move. Let's see. Yep, he's got some of the splits. Not too crazy. All right, so move that in. Kind of fold them back in. So back on to the legs. So the legs are kind of split up into two pieces. So right there, let's see, on the top right here, he can bend that. And it only goes up to like right there. But thanks to Figma and how they've been doing their Demon Slayer figures, you can move this bottom piece. And look, it's almost kind of a double joint, but it works. It works in ways that it should, especially with SH Figure Arts. I wish they would take a note from this, because this is how you do it. This looks nice, in my opinion. And then we're going to move on down to the feet. Standard with what we get. Move down, move up. You will get a little gap, but you just have to kind of push it right there. Let's see. And then do we have the toe articulation? Yep. Got the toes articulation right there. The other type of articulation, sorry. The other type of articulation that we're also going to have is his sword right here. As you can see, it can move side to side, left and right. And should you need to just take it out, you can. So I'm glad that they added that as a feature. They should have kind of done that with Tanjiro. That would have been really dope. Unfortunately, his sword is stationary. He can't really move. Of course, it can move up and down, but that's all you're going to get. It would have been cool if you got the option to remove the sword, but you can't. So moving on over here to the back side of his robe, he has 2 points of articulation. They both go up. Get a little bit of a better flare, dynamic position, as you can see. And you can manipulate this to however you want to. So the poses are almost kind of endless. So that's going to be it for his articulation. Let's see. Actually, we're going to dive into the, let's see. we're going to dive into the accessories if I can find. Oh, okay. Here they are. We're going to dive into the accessories and let's see what he's got to work with. He comes with a lot, so bear with me. We're going to go over it one by one, but I'm sure Zenitsu will not mind. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to start off with are the face plates. So let's get into those. As you can see right here, he has this kind of, let me go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. So right here, this looks really, really nice. Kind of his face closed, looks really, really good. Face closed, and he's just concentrating. Actually, not even concentrating. This is when he's busting out the moves when he's just asleep. So I'm probably going to be having him sport this more than anything. Next face plate that we're going to have is this kind of like crying face, which I think is really looks really, really nice right here. I just love everything about it. I like how it's trying to be anime accurate, which looks good. And a lot of the times, when these figures are trying to translate from anime to figure, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes they miss the mark. But this looks really good. I like it. It looks like it's straight out of the anime. Okay, and this one of my favorites. I feel like this is when he's pretty much simping for I forget Tanjiro's sister's name. This is embarrassing. But Tanjiro's sister's yeah, Tanjiro's sister. I feel like this is when Zenitsu is like simping over her like real bad. Or he could be pointing at himself like in the promo shots and be like, "Oh, who? Me?" All right. So enough of the faces. The next thing that we're going to move on to is his sword. Well, at least this part. So let me see if I can get that to focus. Okay. So we have this part in his sword. His hilt looks really good. So he has two hilts. That looks really nice. Looks good. And then the actual sword right here. Let me see if I can't get a better close up on this. As you can see, there's the lightning effect right there. So everything looks really, really good. Nice lightning effect. Kind of like a grayish color too. It's not black like Tanjiro's. Nice detail right there on the hilt. Right there. Looks really good, especially right there on the hand guard. That looks really, really nice. And that's going to be his sword right there. I'll put that on him later. Next are the hands, because Zenitsu says, I got hands for days for anybody that wants them. Okay, so right here, as you can see on the top, he has an open palm hand right there. Next to it, he has kind of a relaxed hand. And right next to that, he has his sword holding hand. And right next to that, he probably has kind of a loose grip hand. Maybe to grab like his sword or put his hand on somebody's shoulder. But it's the same thing on this side. Loose hand, open palm hand, sword gripping hand, and then another sword holding hand for his actual sheath. So a sheath holding hand. So those are the hands. And then he has one more extra hand. It's only just one. It's not a pair. And it's this one right here. The pointing hand. Or maybe he could be pointing at himself. Or he could be probably throwing you the L because you lost. So that's that. The next pieces are these nice lightning effects. These look really nice right here. And they get pegged in by these clear plastic right angle 90s right here. So this looks nice. They come in a set of 3. So as you can see right here, let me just get a little bit further away. And then this last part. And I'll showcase these at the end of the video. But this is for when he's zipping around and he's using his senses, so to say. Let's see, or his thunder flash or godlike speed. The next piece that we get is this kind of like small like peg, just in case you, let's see, you misplace it or it breaks. So that's really cool. Next thing is this extended peg right here that you can plug in, especially right there in the back of him. There's a hole, so that's nice. And standard Figma stand right here, if I can put it together. There we go. Standard Figma stand. Oh, and this one's actually tight. It's not like the other ones where it's a little loose. This one's actually nice. And I'm glad that they kind of included, let me see. I'm glad that they kind of included this even taller base. So you have the regular base and then you have this base. And what this base is going to be used for is for when he's up in the air and doing his nice, sick technique. And he comes with this extra, look how long this is. This nice big extension. So that's going to plug in to the bottom. And then he's just going to be up in the air doing his thing. And it's nice and sturdy. That's what I really was hoping for when I saw the promo shots. Especially the pictures on the back of the box. I was like, oh man, it might not be as sturdy. It might flop over. It might need to be tightened. But no, as you can see, it's really nice and sturdy. We love that. So that's going to be it for the accessories. And he comes with a lot. Oh, and I did fail to mention that I did not get the regular version. I got the deluxe, the DX version of it. I mean, when I bought it, it was maybe $20 more. But for $20 more, you get your money's worth. So that's what I was going to end up doing. And I did. And I feel like it's such a better deal than just the regular version. Regular version, you just only get a handful of hands, you know. And then you get the sword, of course. I don't believe you get the lightning effects. No, you don't. You don't get the lightning effects. And I think you only get the face that comes on him and then another face plate that comes on him. And then that's it. I mean, forget that. I'd rather get what he comes with, especially in the anime, the lightning effect and the faces. So that's that. I'm going to put some of the accessories on him, try to get him in a dynamic pose while still not having to flop over. And then I'll give my final thoughts on the Figma Zenitsu. Okay, guys, this might look a little weird, but I'm going to be traveling with the camera from the bottom to the top. As you can see, this is what I have working with him as far as the effect parts right there on the bottom, how it's zipping around and how it plugs into the base. So that is really nice. Now, when we move up to the very top right here, as you can see, there is my boy Zenitsu. Just chilling right there. He's about to do his move. Looks really good. So my final thoughts on Zenitsu from Demon Slayer is that if you don't already have him, I suggest that you go out and get him. I know he's a little bit on the pricey side, and when it comes to BuzzMod, I think I only have 2 figures from BuzzMod. That's Rengoku, which I have some, gripes about it, and there's a lot of pros and cons to Rengoku. A lot of things that they did right, a lot of things that they did wrong. And I'm not gonna knock BuzzMod for doing that, since they're kind of a new company that have come out and they have taken on the mantle to do the Demon Slayer line. With that being said, with my other BuzzMod that I have coming in, and probably will be my next review, will be Inosuke, and I'm finally glad that I'm getting him and being able to review him. But yeah, if you don't already have Zenitsu, this guy, he is the one to get. He feels nice, he looks good, aesthetically good. All right, let's just go ahead and close the video. All right, guys, that's going to wrap this video up on Zenitsu from Figma Demon Slayer. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section below if he's going to be a pass or a grab. Major Piccolo shout out to everybody supporting since day one. And like I've said, the channel was lazy, but the movement ain't. Open for plans tonight.